Hello, my dear Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign Gemini. I'm Michaela. Welcome to my astrology channel, Todayenergy. This video is a monthly astrological forecast for you for the upcoming month of September. My general advice would be just to use this pleasant, calm, peaceful astrological September weather to relax, to recharge your inner batteries, so to say, because it will be like a calm before a storm, which we can expect, astrologically speaking, of course, in October and November. When I was preparing for this monthly forecast, I remembered a line, whether it's part of a lyrics of a song or it's from some movie. I don't remember really, but the point is that the character and many people would like to say in October, "Stop the earth, please. I need to get off," because it will be so intense. Astrological weather, let's say. So, but let's focus now on the nearest future, on September itself. On the 3rd of September, we have an opposition on the sky between your ruler, Mercury, being currently in Libra, and Jupiter, currently in Aries. So, of course, when we have an opposition, that means that we have to seek some kind of a balance and compromise. Especially in this case, it might be seen as between you and people with whom you communicate in your daily life. I would say that normally people would need to look for compromises, but I think there is a better concept than compromise, and that's consensus. Because compromise usually means that everyone should give up equally on something to be equally unhappy, and at least this how the peace would be restored between the participating parties. Meanwhile, consensus is a way better idea. It means that people would sit together and think about some new idea and about some solution that will be actually beneficial for everyone involved. So let's look for consensus. In this case, though, we see that the opposition happens in your 5th and 11th house. So, of course, you need to also combine somehow these two areas of your life. And it's all about creativity as 5th house as well as the 11th, just that 5th house talks about our own desires, passion, what we love, whom we love in life. This is our romantic relationships. This is the time and attitude towards our children, or what is, let's say, for other people equally important, like a child. That would be your own creative project, something that you as well create and you care for very much, or as well it could be your own private business. So on one hand is this, and on the other hand, 11th house is collective projects that you participate in, something involving your friends or like-minded people. Maybe those are your business partners, your colleagues at work, especially if you work in some international corporation. Maybe you have to juggle between holidays and spending time with your loved ones and children, and at the same time work and making money, earning your salary, because 11th house is also the income we receive from work, from career. Possibly we're talking about some culmination process, because always an opposition is like a full moon. It's a peak of energies between two planets, and maybe we're talking about some creative project, whether you did it alone, but now you have to rely on participation of other artists or colleagues, or you're gathering some public, some crowd, because 11th house is internet and our fans, supporters, basically large gatherings of people. Well, you see that also Mercury is a planet of communication as well as Jupiter. Both planets talk about travels, about expanding the knowledge, the mind. So maybe you are negotiating or communicating indeed with some partners. No worries if you don't come to some definite conclusion or decision around the 3rd of September, because Mercury, your ruler, is currently located in its retrograde shadow zone. Well, basically, we call this way the degrees. This is kind of the part of the celestial path of the planet, that the planet transits 3 times. Once it goes normally forward, but then it turns retrograde, so it returns backwards, and then it turns direct again, so it has to move again through the same territory to continue further, right? So the same opposition with Jupiter will happen once again on the 19th of September, when Mercury will be retrograde, and then once again and for the last time on the 12th of October. So maybe you will come to some resolution or conclusion, or your business or travel or document related plans, negotiations, especially with someone from abroad, the government, or some institutions, maybe political or non-political organizations, will come to fruition already for the last time, and definitely around the 12th of October. Maybe then you will have your performance, exhibition, or something to show to the public. Maybe you will be launching your business online, attracting more viewers and clients. On the 5th, Venus moves into Virgo. And of course, Venus is love, pleasure, peace, and harmony. And Virgo is your 4th house. So Venus going to the 4th house, where she will be traveling for the next 24 days, she will install peace and harmony in your family relationships, conversations and dealings with your parents, with your flatmates, roommates, possibly people with whom you live. Venus represents money, so maybe you will start earning more in this period from your property, from renting something, selling possibly would be a good deal, or vice versa. You will be investing more money into your home, beauty, environment, coziness, kind of to feel good and comfortable, and with pleasure spend time at home with your family, possibly investing money into family business as well, or earning money from family business. And last but not least, for the Geminis who are looking for some love in life, then you surprisingly might find this love amongst this your native compatriots if you're living abroad, or if you go back for holidays to your homeland, hometown, home neighborhood, visiting your parents, and there might be the daughter or the son of their neighbors or colleagues, and that might be your person. On the 10th, we have 2 important events, really much so for you, Gemini. First event is a full moon, and the moon will be located at 17 degrees of Pisces, and for you this is your 10th house of career and social status. You will feel this full moon especially significantly if your MC, the cusp, the beginning of your 10th house, is around this degree of Pisces. So of course full moon is a culmination, is like a projector, the limelight on you. So you might have some social event, conference, receiving some award in which you will be shining in front of a public. Truly, it might be finishing a work project, finishing a collaboration, moving on, moving to a higher position, retiring, going on maternity leave. So something ends, something culminates with a full moon in your house of status. Status could be as well divorce, status could be as well getting engaged, getting married. Something changes in your life significantly, and how other people see you and perceive you. Maybe you become a director, a boss, maybe you buy or sell a company, start your own business. Receiving acknowledgements, recognitions, and awards could be on the table, definitely. And on the same day, your ruler Mercury is stationing to go retrograde, which means the planet is standing still on same degree. This is the 8th degree of Libra. And by the way, Mercury is stationed since the 6th of September, so you might feel quite dizzy, like with lack of focus. There might be some misunderstandings around you, some inner tension or feeling like on a crossroad from the 6th of September, possibly till, I would say, even the 12th of September, when Mercury slowly but surely starts gaining speed by going backwards, though. So, of course, Mercury rules you, but also he rules your fourth house of your roots, your family, and family traditions, and all the lessons you learned from childhood and memories from then, as well as your property. So, definitely not the best time to deal with those things, as well as Mercury retrogrades in your fifth house of creativity, business, hobby, passion, love. So while Mercury goes retrograde, you might be going back to some internal issue, old projects, personal projects, revisiting your plans about where you want to live, how you want to live, with whom, do you want to relocate. It's good to try again when Mercury is retrograde, but it's not advisable to start something completely new, because then you're risking to do it not properly, not be happy with the result, and then anyways redo it second time. Very possible that people from your childhood might show up and call you for meetings. Ex-girlfriends, boyfriends, partners, fifth house romantic partners might reappear in your life. Maybe they want a second chance. It's up to you if you would give them the reunion and second chance, or possibly just close the this kind of emotional experience for yourself. Sometimes we need these people back in our lives to experience a proper closure of emotions, you know. Retrograde period is great for re-evaluation, reassessment, trying again, going again for the exam that you failed the last time, going back to some old hobby, old passion of yours, retrying again your business, rebranding your business, or launching again a PR campaign, or changing something in your business so it will go better forward. Rearranging your home, go back to visit your parents. Yeah, basically, while your ruler is in Libra, it's funny because people think that Libra is all about relationships, but in fact, Libra is all about balance, peace, but also justice and objectivity. Remember, Libra is the only unanimated object in the horoscope from the all 12 signs. Only Libra is not an animal, not a human, not a centaur like Sagittarius is, right? So it means no emotions, actually. It means complete, pure objectivity without biases. And Libra is the old scales. So you measure, you weight your decisions. And Mercury is the planet of communication and thinking and self-expression and processing information, planning for all of us, not only you, but really this is the archetype of Mercury, as well as the messenger of gods. That's why Mercury rules post and emails nowadays. So all of this might be a little bit disturbed, let's say, while Mercury is retrograde, and especially in the days when it's stationary. Then people might feel the huge need to send emails, do paperwork, sign contracts, but actually it's just good to take your time and to read everything 3, 4, 5 times. We say in my language, in Bulgarian language, we say measure 7 times and cut once only, but after you measure the 7 times, right? So this is a good time to deal the pros and the cons for business-related matters, home and family-related matters, maybe something connected to topic of children or your children. So yeah, Mercury retrograde till the 2nd of October. I'll try to record a separate video about this topic. On the 16th, we have a little bit of intense day, like a battle of sexes it could be, we can say, because Venus representing women, squares Mars representing men. Of course, every aspect brings as positive as well as negative connotations, and the square can bring here a lot of passion between people. But also, a square is a difficult energy to reach to an agreement. You have to soften somehow the sharp edges. So people can be quite edgy, really. For you, it's a fourth first house connection, so possibly some misunderstandings, conflicts, even with parents, with or someone from family, or about property and something related to place of living. Could be the case for you. Forewarned, forearmed, dear friends. That's why we do this forecast, just to be prepared for all sorts of energies. But they can play out in so many different ways in each person's life. On the 17th, there is a quite additionally distracted day, I would say, with low vitality generally, because the sun makes an opposition to the planet of dreams and sleep, and alternative states of mind, Neptune. Well, for you, this opposition covers fourth house. The sun is in fourth house of family issues, and Neptune is in the 10th house of career. So again, with as any other opposition, you will have to find the golden balance between those two areas, work and home. Social image, public image, especially with Neptune, if you're an actor, if you're a media person, director or someone on a stage, and the person you are in a close family environment, the circle of trust. The same energy we all will experience on the 24th of September, when Venus opposes Neptune. Basically, Venus goes now after the sun, couple of days after, repeating the sun's aspects. Okay, but sun represents health and vitality. That's why I'm saying that this day, like 17th, could be good for more meditations, doing some creative projects, something involving states of dreaming, watching movies, writing, poetry, dancing maybe. And in fact, you can be quite successful this day if your profession is in these areas. Maybe it's even something related to water sources, oceans, ecology, pharma, and drugs. Media, definitely, the stage, arts, dancing. Then it can be a day of achievements and success professionally. Maybe we're talking about some relocation here, because Neptune symbolizes faraway lands, islands, exotic places for us. And last but not least, every opposition has its beginning when the two planets were conjunct. And the sun conjunct Neptune on the 13th of March this year. So it was in your 10th house of status, of career, of reputation. So maybe back then you planned something, you seeded some beginnings of a project, of a situation, of an idea, even possibly just an idea, which now comes to a fruition, which now is fully blooming. Maybe it was about changing profession, relocating somewhere to start some new career, retire, go as an independent artist, or possibly it was about having a child, getting married, becoming a volunteer. Yeah, because Neptune is quite a selfless planet. It's also about charity and unconditional help to others. So, could be something like that for you. Maybe we're talking just about a business trip somewhere overseas. Then on the 19th, the sun has a beautiful aspect, a trine to Pluto. Pluto, who has a little bit of a dark fame, really. But with a trine, these two planets are helping each other gladly. They collaborate beautifully for our own good. And of course, the sun is shining, is the vitality in your fourth house, something related to your roots, to your homeland, country of origin, parents, parenthood. And Pluto is in your 8th house of shared finances, common resources. So maybe we're talking about your family business or um, money, passive income coming from renting a place, selling your property, doing some property business could be beneficial, or starting such on this day. And great for investment in property, taking a loan to build a home, for example, home family business, and decision maybe to form a family with your loved ones, because 8th house is our very trusted people, intimate partner with whom we more likely would be having our common home, budget, children. Definitely 8th house is the house of death and rebirth, so oftentimes it talks about conception of children. So maybe you decide to expand your family with one more member. And another such day will be 26th of September, when Venus trines Pluto, the axis 4th and 8th house. Venus rules your 5th and 12th. So yes, it could be something related to your love life, some more passion, Venus and Pluto together. It's really a great commitment and great passion between lovers. On the 23rd, the sun goes into Libra, illuminating for one whole month your 5th house of love, romance, children, play, fun, hobby, and business. And on the same day, 23rd, early in the morning, I'm located in Bulgaria, so I will say the Eastern European daylight saving time, and that's 9:45 a.m. 9:45 a.m. but converted to your time zone, because this hour is very important to the minute. Then we have the precise conjunction between the sun, the light giver, right, the representation of the skies, the gods, the universe, and Mercury, your ruler. And despite the fact that currently Mercury goes backwards, so it's imagine you closing your eyes and going backwards. It's uncomfortable, right? So maybe when Mercury is retrograding, you don't feel on 100 top percent of your kind of vitality and even communication and mental skills. But this is a special moment. It's called Kazimi, Mercury Kazimi, when it's exactly in the center of the sun. So like on a private audience with the gods, basically. So you might be illuminated literally by some revelation, by some answer to some question you have had in your head spinning. Let me see, 5th house, of course, it can be news, it can be a message, it can be just something that you perceive even subconsciously if you wouldn't watch my forecast. Like, 20:30 in the morning, it was a dream, you wake up from your dream, or while you prepare yourself a breakfast, then something comes up on the news, but it's incepted in you, in your head, in your consciousness. And then this seed will be growing into maybe something very useful. So it's cool to pay an idea what you hear, what you discuss in this moment with children, with your loved ones. It can be something related to inspiration, to hobby, to creativity, especially if you are an artist and you would appreciate a boost of your creativity and inspiration. Then look for 9:45 a.m. Well, give or take. Maybe like if you want to meditate around this time, then let's say 10 minutes before, 10 minutes after is the special time when you can be really receiving, or actually you might be the messenger for someone else of amazing insights directly coming from the universe. And then on the 26th we have a new moon in Libra. So of course, it's still your 5th house, so there might be news from or about children, new projects involving kids if you work with them, new passion, new hobby. Try something new, you might like it, paragliding, surfing, whatever, origami, anything that might just inspire you and become your new hobby. Some new romantic interest you might meet. It's a very optimistic new moon because it's opposing Jupiter in your 11th house. Jupiter expands everything in the 11th house of friends, of public, of fans. Maybe you will be really starting something new with other like-minded people. You'll find people with the same hobbies and passions. That's cool. That's nice. Maybe there will be foreigners. Maybe it's about travel, tourism, some kind of knowledge, maybe a study group, or something about reading, for example, reading group, book club. And just, yeah, you can have just lovely fun time overall. Love from different cultures can be. You can find a partner who is a foreigner. Maybe meeting with friends from university, because both Mercury and Jupiter are still retrograding. So yeah, new moon sounds like something completely new, but maybe it's a reunion or a new phase of something already existing, or like a second chance or new meeting with old friends, something like that. On the 29th, Venus joins the party in Libra, and Venus rules this sign, so she's so happy to be in her own domicile. Of course, fifth house, planet of love and joy, being in the house of love. I mean, that's really triple whammy now for you to enjoy some great romantic times. Holidays still, perhaps for some of you. Venus brings money, and fifth house is lotteries, gambling, risky investments, as well as competitions, sports. So maybe you will be winning on such fun events. You might find your love. Yeah. And maybe you will be investing money into your hobby, or now for the next 1 month or so, your hobby will start actually paying off financially for you and your business as well. Especially if it's a Venusian business involving design, beauty, gems, jewelry, something related to women, something related to food, or money, finances. And at the end of the month, we truly, all of us, we feel once again the intensifying square between the big players, Saturn and Uranus. They were squaring each other the whole 2021. Now again, it was reinitiated in August with its peak late September, beginning of October, mid-October. And after that, the tension will fade away. So Saturn is in your 9th house, while Uranus is in your 12th. And currently, like at the end of September, they are still, both of them are retrograde. So there is this desire for change in the air. Like a storm is coming, but it's still not here because it's fixed energies, Aquarius and Taurus. It's stubborn planets. Uranus wants immediate change, and it's in your 12th house, some kind of internal liberation, psychological freedom from old fears, from grudges, from traumas, from bad habits, repetitive nasty patterns of thinking, of behavior, of forming relationships, whatever you notice as unhealthy in your life. Uranus wants to get rid of it once and for all, burn the bridges. Maybe it's a fear of something Uranian, fear of lightnings, fear of flying, fear of technology, fear of moving on with your life, fear of relocation, of going to an island, of moving to Asia, for example, and becoming a freelancer. Get rid of some old stuff from your family traditions, these old family beliefs that are passed from generation to generation. Now it's time for you to clean the slate, really, like to become this whiteboard for a completely new story for yourself. But Saturn is the brakes of all of this enthusiasm, because Saturn oftentimes means fear, because it's practicality, because Saturn wants to hold on to the traditions, to everything stable, old and already proven. Uranus is looking, it's visionary, it's about the future, and trial and errors, you know, attempt and errors, while Saturn is afraid to jump, to leap so much. Saturn, ninth house. So maybe you still need to finish education. Maybe your teachers are delaying your diploma certification through which you could go abroad and, let's say, teach in some foreign university. Saturn also rules your eighth house, so maybe there is a delay in sponsorship, in scholarship, in dealing with additional money you need, basically, loans, possibly. Um, Inheritance. Maybe you're dealing now with inheritance, and that's why you cannot just move forward. Eighth house is also our deep psychological issues, our fears, our demons, that we are afraid of them, but we don't want to let them out, and we keep them in a closet, but they're just like scaring us even more from there. So here you have to work with those topics. Maybe you have to work with the guru, with the psychologist, with a therapist, maybe even astrologer or tarot reader who could help you out with your inner liberation and decisions. Maybe there is just a court trial which is prolonging, or some paperwork dealing with governments, with, you know, embassies, visas, if we talk about relocation, or finding the right lawyer, finding the right specialist. Maybe you're attempting a pregnancy, really, because 12th house is places of isolation, examining your health. So maybe Uranus here is asking you to turn to IVF and all this more like technical and modern ways to become pregnant, to conceive artificially, not naturally, because Uranus is a planet of genetic modifications and new technologies and so on. But you're looking for the right specialist, for instance. It must be something big in your life, really, Gemini, as for all of us, of course, but in different spheres of life. So basically, don't worry, the tension here will dissolve eventually as the autumn proceeds. So basically towards the end of the autumn. Well, that's how September looks like for you. Thank you so much, Gemini, for watching, for liking, for sharing my videos, and of course subscribing to my channel. I hope that the forecasts I'm making are somehow interesting and useful for you. I wish you a lovely month of September. Enjoy it, use it wisely. May it be great for you. Of course, most importantly, take care of your health, stay healthy. I wish it for all of us, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.